You know, one of the most amazing things about being able to live in the land of Israel is you get to really live the Chagim. And like Baomer was no exception. For weeks before, we would be able to see loads of little kids running around the city of Yerushalayim, gathering pieces of wood, bringing them to a central location and igniting giant bonfires on the night of Lag Baomer. Everybody questions the source of this custom. We're told in our tradition that actually on the day of Lag Baomer, which is the day of the parting of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, a giant fire engulfed his house. And in reminiscent of that memory, we light fires because he brought the secrets of Torah into this world, the secrets of Kabbalah, the book of the Zohar. But I think there's maybe a deeper message, and maybe we can flesh this out with a very, very important question. On the one hand, we're told that 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva died during this time period from the beginning of the Omer to the 33rd day. And because of that, the Jewish people go into mourning. We don't have weddings, we don't listen to music, we don't take haircuts. And on the other hand, we're told that on Lag Baomer is the day that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai passed away. And on that day, there's giant celebrations. People are having barbecues. Thousands of people come to Meron, his final resting place, amidst celebration and music and dancing and singing. How are we to reconcile these two approaches? So we're actually told that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was in a very unique position. On the day that he passed away, he instructed his students to note the date of his passing as a day of joy, because he looked back and reflected on a life filled with mission and purpose and meaning. He understood that he had fulfilled his life mission to teach the Torah's deepest secrets to the world. You know, King David tells us in the book of Tehillim, the idea that the steps of man are directed by God. And the father of the Hasidic movement, the Baal Shem Tov, tells us that we think that when we travel on this world, it's actually Hashem, that it's actually us that is going to a certain place, but it's really not the case. Hashem is the one that is orchestrating and directing events in the upper world, so that we find ourselves in specific situations, and in those specific situations, it's sometimes where we're called to task, where we have our greatest moments of clarity of what we can achieve in this world and what we can bring to this world. You know, fire is very comparable to the Jewish soul. King Solomon tells us, Kinel Nishmat Adam, and maybe that's one of the other reasons we light the fire on Lag Baomer. Fire consumes everything in its path. It's why we're here. We're here to set the world alight. The Jewish people have not survived for 4,000 years simply because they managed to survive, but there was a fire burning inside. A fire with mission, a fire with purpose, a fire of understanding to pass on the torch to each generation, so that every single Jew across the world should be able to fulfill their mission, be a light unto the nations, and live a life of meaning and purpose. So today on Lag Baomer, when we light our fires, and when we see pictures of fires and bonfires being lit across the world, it reminds us, it's an untimely reminder, just like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai was able to fulfill his purpose and his mission. It's a message to each and every single one of us, particularly now that we find ourselves in lockdown, where we have time to reflect and time to think about what we are going to make a difference in the world. What is our mission in the world? What are we going to bring to the world? What is the torch and the fire and the flame that we're going to pass on to our next generation? What indeed is going to be our legacy? Chag Sameach.